The 3rd Algerian Infantry Division was an infantry division of the Army of Africa which participated to World War II. Following the liberation of the French North Africa, the division illustrated capability particularly in Italy in 1944, at the core of the French Expeditionary Corps of Général Juin, by disembarking in Provence, during the liberation of Toulon and Marseille, in the Vosges. During the difficult combats for the liberation of the Basse-sur-le-Rupt, Cornimont, and in Alsace at the core of the 1st Army of Général Jean de Lattre de Tassigny, considered by the generals de Monsabert and Juin as a digne héritière of Roman legions of North Africa Legio 3 Augusta. The 3 was also referred to as the division with 3 crescents representing the 3 Tirailleurs Regiments: 3rd Algerian Tirailleurs Regiment, 4th Tunisian Tirailleurs Regiment, 7th Algerian Tirailleurs Regiment. The 3 was awarded 4 citations at the Orders of the Armed Forces between 1943 and 1945, and along with the 1st Free French Division 1 RDFL, was considered the most decorated division of the Second World War, with all forming regiments having been awarded a French forager. The 3rd Armoured Division is an heir to 3rd Algerian Infantry Division. The 3rd Division was recreated in 2016 with the cadre of the reorganization of the French Army. Creation and different nominations: November 1942 to April 1943, Marching Division of Constantine. April 15, 1943, Constitution of the 3rd Algerian Infantry Division by decision of Général d'Armée Qt Henry Giraud under the orders of Général de Monsabert, with 2 Tirailleurs Regiments with red forager, the 7 ERTA and 4 ERTT, 1 regiment with yellow forager, the 3 ERTA and 67 ERAA, similarly with yellow forager, 3 regimental colors decorated with the legend Honor. April 15, 1946, dissolution of the division. Insignia and AMP motto. The division insignia represents a winged statuette of the Victory of Citha, which was discovered in 1855 in Constantine, and with the representation of a Roman goddess protector of the emperors and venerated by the Roman army. The motto is "Id Crescendo." World War II. Tunisian Campaign. The 3rd Algerian Infantry Division has for origin the marching division of Constantine of General Welvet. Italian Campaign. Created on May 1, 1943, in Constantine, Algeria, and placed under the orders of General Goslar de Monsabert. The 3 disembarked in Italy in December 1943, at the core of the French Expeditionary Corps, commanded by the future Maréchal Juin. The 3 apprehended the position of Forte du Belvedere on January 25. While attracting the masses, the division allowed the development of the maneuver of Anzio, and that of the U.S. military on the promontory of Cassino. In relation to this arm event, the 4 ERTT endured the loss of half of the effectives. In May 1944, the division made way to Monte Cassino, where Allied forces have engaged for several months, and participated to the reinforcing of the Gustave Line during the victory of Gariglione. French and AMP German Campaign. On August 15, 1944, the 3 disembarked in Provence, at Courgolin in the Var, liberated Toulon and Marseille, then made way to the valley of the Rhône. In September to October 1944, the division arrived at the Vosges. On October 3, 1944, under the orders of General Guillaume, the division mounted the assault between Moselle and Moselot, made way through Moselot, the villages of Beaumont, Saulches and the Northern Highlands. The division then progressed towards Cornimont, pushing back on October 15 at Tête des Cerfs, at the weakened Pierre at Rand, firing at Chapchata all the counter-attacks. In 20 days, the 3 ED advanced more than 15 kilometers while clearing the sectors of Belfort and Guéridma. Beginning of November 1944, the division was engaged in La Hauts-du-Tot, Forges and Rochesson to cover the American U.S. Corps. Countering assaults, the division apprehended La Thorley, Chateau Lambert, Cols de Bassang, Col de Bramont and Col d'Odrin. In December 1944, the division mounted the first assaults on Colmar, clearing the Col du Bonhomme, apprehending Orby and the highlands of Warhoff, which remained the capital of the Haut-Rhine, accordingly preparing the departure base, from which the French military liberated Alsace. Beginning January 1945, the division was called to mount the defensive of Strasbourg and pushed back won the final assaults on Gilset. On March 15, 1945, the division pierced through Oberhofen-sur-Moder and apprehended Lauterburg. The division then crossed the Lauter and penetrated first into Germany. On March 31, 1945, at the head of the First Army, the division crossed the Rhine in the region of Speyer. Reinforced by the Moroccan Gumia, the division broke the resistance at Heukelberg and Stromberg. On April 16, the division led at Enns in the north, infiltrating by Nagel in the south and encircled Pforzheim. The campaigns of Alsace and Germany ended with the 3 EDA in Stuttgart. On May 1, the division paraded in front of Général de Lattre de Tassigny. Dissolved on April 15, 1946, the division was awarded 4 citations at the Orders the Armed Forces. Composition: disembarked in Italy in December 1943. Effectives were 16,840 men, out of which 60% Maghrebis and 40% Europeans. Infantry 3rd Algerian Tirailleurs Regiment, Colonel de Linares, then Agostini and de la Bosse. 4th Tunisian Tirailleurs Regiment, Colonel Routhen Guillerbeau. 7th Algerian Tirailleurs Regiment, Colonel Chapuis, replaced in March 1945 by the 49th Infantry Regiment. 1 North African Tirailleurs Regiment is composed of a little more than 3,000 men and 200 vehicles. The portion of Maghrebis reaches 69% for the regiment, 74% for the battalion, 79% for the company Fusiliers Voltiges, 52% for the Antank company and 36% for the infantry cannon company. Armored 3rd Algerian Safai Regiment, Colonel Bonjour. 7th African Chasseur Regiment, Colonel Van Heck. The 2 regiments are composed of 900 to 1,000 men with 15% Maghrebis and 85% Europeans. Artillery 67th African Artillery Regiment, 37E Group de FDA. 1 artillery regiment is composed of more than 2,000 men, out of which 40% are Maghrebis. Other units: 83 Engineer Battalion, 3rd Medical Battalion, 3rd Divisionary Repair Company, Mixed Transmission Company, 83 84th. Decorations: the division was cited 4 times at the Orders of the Armed Forces during the Second World War, and the forming regiments have been awarded the Forager with at least 2 citations at the Orders of the Armed Forces. Forager with olive colors of the Médaille Militaire and Croix de Guerre 1939–1945. 3rd Algerian Tirailleurs Regiment, 4th Tunisian Tirailleurs Regiment. Forager with olive colors of the Croix de Guerre 1939–1945. 7th Algerian Tirailleurs Regiment, 7th African Chasseur Regiment, 3rd Algerian Safai Reconnaissance Regiment, 67th African Artillery Regiment, 83 Engineer Battalion. Division Commanders: November 1942 – April 1943, General Welvert, killed in action April 10, 1943, May 1943 – September 1944, General de Monsabert. September 1944 – October 1945, General Guillaume. Division combat casualties. During World War II, the total losses endured by the 3EDA between November 1942 and May 1945 were 3,078 men, almost 20% of the division.